pretty crazy.
Afterwards, Micah Parsons, what's this all about?
Right now, we got people just trying to be Superman. Right now, it's just not in unison. I don't feel like I should be telling another grown man to consistently be accountable. At some point, they got to take it within themselves. So every day within ourselves, we got to say, did we get better? Did I get better today?
I can't talk faces.
Swag, the look on the faces of the gentlemen speaking on the field, I can imagine it gets heated. You're in the arena and you're getting embarrassed. They made it close late. But what, in your estimation, is going on that side of the ball in Dallas right now?
A lot of questions, not a lot of answers. And when you have players talking about everybody just need to do their job, we've heard all this before. It's the cliche terms of we getting our ass whipped consistently. That's what it means. And two, when you get to the sideline and you start talking about who's doing what, and I would have loved for Micah not to even mention guys or trying to be Superman. I think that's always something that you leave for the locker room, and you have that discussion with your team, because now it separates, right? The player that's saying that, you got to go look at film too. Right. And there's some plays on film with Micah that didn't look well and didn't fit what they're probably trying to do defensively. I think right now, and I've been a part of locker rooms where when you can't get the run stop, and you feel like you're being physically brutalized, it turns into finger pointing. Yeah. And if you ask any coach, any player in any organization, when finger points start happening, you on your way out of there, boss.
Jason, when you start pushing them, and they can't stop you, that has to be the most,
you did not have
the
to
best
ask
feeling
him
there
that
is.
Question like that.
Yeah, I'm just asking. He was smiling
There's
real big.
nothing more I love than pushing it on another grown man and just taking it over. Yes, Scott, you are absolutely correct.
So that's more.
Yeah, there is no greater feeling than when you're taking over the line of scrimmage as an offensive lineman.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's how.
Well,
when you're dominating the line of scrimmage at will, and they got. I mean, listen, Baltimore is multifaceted. It ain't like it ain't a simple thing to stop. They got Lamar and they got Derrick Henry. What they faced last week with Kamara, they couldn't stop that either. They got to get something fixed. They got to figure it out. But it's been fun watching the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, guys. This might be the last one for me.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about where the Dallas Cowboys were at the end of the season, right? We saw some of these signs. You go back to Miami in prime time last year, ran the football down Dallas's throat. You get into the playoffs, can't stop a nosebleed, whether it's the pass or the run. We say all offseason, how have you fixed these things? But there was no signs that they were fixed. They played the Cleveland Browns, who we now know is also awful.
Not
right?
Great.
And so we felt, hey, maybe we were wrong. Maybe we jumped the gun. Maybe Jerry Jones was all in. Guess what? We were right the entire offseason. They didn't do enough. You think about this offense trying to figure out ways to make plays if CeeDee Lamb isn't having a great day. They struggled finding another option, and eventually Tolbert and Turpin made some plays late in the game. Defensively, there were times. What do we say? Oh, Baltimore, be tricky. When Derrick Henry's in the game, you can't just line him up an eye in a run formation and give it to him. Lie as you tell.
Yeah.
They walked out there. They said, we're going to come out in 22 personnel. That's 2 backs. 2 tight ends. We don't even care who the wide receiver is. Everybody's screaming. You know what I'm screaming in the back, Scott?
What are you screaming?
It's a run! 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 And you know what the Baltimore Ravens did? They said, we ain't going to check. We're going to turn around. We're going to hand it off to Derrick Henry because they're not physical enough to stop us.
I feel like y'all get like an extra boost of energy, though, when y'all talking about them and how bad.
I'm going to be honest. The problem is, it's not that we get an extra boost of energy talking about them. It's that run games get an extra boost of energy when they play them.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
I was the same way when the Lions ended it in the overtime game. Yeah. Whenever a line is when they know you're running it and you're still able to get it done, I'm going to be excited.
Let me say this too, Scott. Yep. Let me say this because I've heard this across the airwaves about how Dallas is built. They're built to play ahead. Realistically in the NFL, you ain't going to get a lot of leads. Okay?
Not real.
You're going to have to play, and RC has heard me say this. What happens to Dallas when they have to play straight up defense, where it's going back and forward and you three up and 3 out and they 3 up and 3 out? When teams have their whole gambit of their playbook and they are able to run the plays that they want to run as opposed to the situation causing them to shrink their playbook. That was the issue last year against Green Bay. Everybody talks about the great day that Jordan Love had, and it was phenomenal. Green Bay ran it down their throat.
Yep.
Arizona Cardinals ran it down their throat, and it was the first telltale sign. That's just who they are.
Yeah.
In the National Football League, red zones, if you can hold teams to 3, that's the name of the game. Right now, Dallas has allowed 10 trips to the red zone. They've given up 9 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's the worst in the National Football League. That's because they
Village bicycle.
Yep, there you go.